sign of ungodliness. To be poor means there is sin in your life. That we qualify as poverty in people's lives is simply an inability to afford luxuries. How can one be so heartless as to look people in the eye and tell them that the fact that they cannot buy turkey or travel with Uber is because they are sinful?
From my understanding, okay, let's clarify that he's not saying that, he's not defining what poverty is, okay, because this thing is subjective. Somebody could be earning 10,000 naira, right, and at that level of the earning of 10,000 naira, he's a good Christian, he goes to church, he does all of that. Now he now gets 1 million naira as recurring income, right, from when he was getting that 10,000 naira. Is he going to be the same person that he was when he was earning the 10,000 naira? Or is he going to now have a new lifestyle that does not reflect the same type of person he was when he was earning 10,000 naira? It is also applicable to somebody who was earning, let's say, 5 million naira, okay, monthly, but he was going to church, he had a good relationship with God, was a good Christian man. Then suddenly he hits what's big money for that level. Let's say 50 million now becomes his recurring income from somebody who used to earn 5 million, like after he does everything still, but now he now has 45 million naira as disposable income. Is it going to be the same person? I believe that's the context of what Pastor Korede Komaya was talking about. When you have $1 billion as disposable income, not working capital. I don't really understand. Not working capital. See, at that level, if you are still a man of faith, you are really a man of faith. If you are still a woman of faith, you are really a woman of God. Be wealthy, absolutely. Read this book. I get this book. This book is not about Oral Roberts himself. It's about 14 men who love God, serve God. Some came from poverty. They talk about how the ministry of Oral Roberts took them from poverty to becoming major industrialists in America, and they were still serving God. They were still serving God. Like I said, this video is not about argument. I'm not here to argue with anybody. Let's talk about the banger boys, banger pastors that have been trending since. I'm calling them banger because anytime they say something, there's always fireworks everywhere. So hi, welcome to Topisco TV. So let's get started. It's going to be a series, all right? So I need you to like this video and watch the entire series, okay?
If you obey and serve God, you will prosper. You will prosper. You will prosper. So poverty is a sign of ungodliness. To be poor means there is sin in your life. Unfortunately, people think it is those that are rich that have sin in their life. Never trust the holiness of a poor man. Listen, you can't carry girlfriend, the results are not there. You can't go to Dubai and buy a house and keep a woman. You don't have the money. Anybody that has money and serve God is truly holy. If you want to know how humble, how godless somebody is, let them start having money. It is then you will know. There are some of you, your holiness is poverty imposed. There's nothing you can do. It's poverty imposed. You just keep quiet. You just, oh Lord, I love you. Jesus, I love
you. Okay, so that's Pastor Korede Komaya, and at the concluded, but you know it's January, so program. So there's going to be, it's a message, okay? This is like snippets from the message. Let's just say that first of all, but controversy and talk based on different things I said. One, you can't trust the holiness of a poor person. Two, there's sin in your life if you are poor. 3, poverty is ungodliness. Okay, I don't agree with everything he said. I don't agree that there's sin, poverty, people are poor because there's sin in their life. I don't really agree with that. Do you have a family secret that you would like to share anonymously, that you're like, I want to share this thing with somebody, and you don't have anywhere else to share it? I'm going to put a link in the description box. Please share it so that we can tell your story. Or do you have a life lesson, a story that you know that people would learn from your stories? Okay, I would like to share your stories. Put it in the description box as anonymous. Okay, I don't need to know your name, I don't need to know who you are. No need, just put it anonymously. Okay, and we'll come here and talk about it. I statement, I think maybe far, in my own opinion, right? But you say about you cannot trust the holiness of a poor person. I agree. Look, I 100% agree with that. And somebody who doesn't have the means, okay, because different definition, but let's stick with the financial aspect. I agree that you can't really trust the holiness of person who hasn't gotten certain level of wealth, okay, because everybody tested. Not everyone is going to be tested, because at every level there are certain things that you don't have access to. I think that's what he's trying to say. So at a particular level, when you get to that level, will you still be humble? Will you still, maybe if you were serving in a unit in your local church, will you still be able to do that? Okay, so in that one, I agree 100% with him when he says that, oh, right now maybe you don't have money to buy a house for a girlfriend, because there are certain types of money that comes into people's lives and they do a 360, and you'll be wondering like, but I know this person used to preach, this person used to do this person used to do that. And when people don't have, and they probably have to get their sustenance from someone or an institution, they will be humble. They will be humble. I know someone who, I think was a pastor or something in my mom's ministry at that time. So he was so humble. I even learned prayer from this particular individual. I learned how from this particular individual because he used to gather us as children, and he would teach us, and he would pour his heart into us. It was such a lovely time. He now had this major breakthrough. When he had this major breakthrough, this man of God, he did a 360. So he got a car. He first of all bought a car, and initially he was still coming to church. Then I stopped coming to church. Then I started having affairs with different women. It was a complete 360 till tomorrow. And now he has retraced himself back to God. But at that season in his life, money did a number on that man. Okay, and there are many, 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 many stories like that where somebody who was perceived as a good Christian had this money come into their life. And let me say this other story. There's one of my big uncles. He said that the first time one major money, this money, let's not lie to ourselves, okay? There is the type of money that you will have that if your heart is not circumcised, like when they will say, can God trust you? We can be speaking English at a certain level, even me that I'm talking, but there's some kind of money that what they call bastard money. I'm not here to divide the word of God. I'm here to gist with you as a sister. What they call bastard money. Bastard money in this world. Okay, so this man, he said when he had the first bastard money, like let me speak it. If you go get some kind of money when you go hit, you heard go first scatter. You will not be balanced. See, leave all these arguments on social media. Let's talk, re-talk now. Balanced. Your head will first, because you've not seen that type before. Before you will now reach a state of equilibrium. So this uncle has been somebody that has served God. In fact, is one of the positive influences in my life when I was growing up in Benin. Because then there were the big uncles that would come and do like, so I would struggle and get money to just go and listen to the seminars because they were the ones that were traveling and all of that. So he said that when he hits that money, now it's a church. Let me use the word boy, but not, you understand what I'm saying now? Just now, just church man, like church boy. Yeah? He said for the first 1 month, in just a go club for Abuja. That time, is that like he was a club boy or a club person? That wasn't really his lifestyle. But you don't say, you get some kind of body. First of all, your head is not correct. I'm laughing, but it's not funny. He said he will go to clubs, like high-end clubs, and just sit down. Then you look around, like, because all the people in that income brackets, that's what they do. They are there, so you'll be like, women and all of that, but that he knew that this is not my lifestyle. Do you understand? But because, like I said, when you hit some kind of money, it takes a while for you to buy. It takes the grace of God. This is real talk now. This one is not I want to come and argue. I'm not here to argue. I'm just talking. People that have given their real life experience are the ones that we have seen. So according to this uncle, he said that it took prayers from his wife. The wife had to, because nobody knew what to do, because this wasn't his character. It wasn't really his character. But this thing of, you can't trust the holiness of a poor person. He said, according to him, he used his mouth. He was the one telling us that it was the prayer of his wife and different people before he now stabilized. If not, he would have gone. When you have money, you don't. There's a billionaire, the founder of Zen Stripe Masiwa. When he came to Abuja a couple of years ago, I was opportune to be in that meeting that he was having, because he met with a few young people at that time. I don't know if it's mentoring thing, and he said something that I've never forgotten. This same line of thought. He said, when people say, why do certain people sponsor the gospel, that before he used to feel guilty, like when people are like, oh, why are you spending so much money for the gospel, blah blah blah. That when he began to get into certain circles and he saw that people can spend $1 million for a horse, people can spend $10 million for, like, what any faith-based person will say is flimsy. It was like, any money I have, I'm going to channel my money into the gospel, because people are using money to do rubbish without any form of inhibition. You understand? Because a lot of things that we say is because maybe the level that we are in. I was opportune to travel to America last year, and we went on this boat cruise in downtown Chicago. So the tour guide was giving us like the history of the high-rise buildings over there. And one of the things that blew my mind, you can watch it on my vlogging channel. I'm going to put it on the description box if you're interested. One of the things the tour guide was saying that blew my mind. Most of these buildings they were built like 100 years ago, not 50 years ago, 100 years ago. And when they were talking about how they were scrabbling the politics of building those high-rise buildings, when it just dawns on you that certain arguments that we're having now, because we never see that kind of money, let's tell ourselves the truth. Skyscrapers, they built it 100 years ago. So when those people in those environments is like they don't fear God, it's because my father used to say something that when you have not conquered your immediate needs, you understand? Like you are thinking of light, you are thinking of water, you are thinking of just basic stuff. That's where you are. Some people have conquered those things that they are no longer thinking of. Will I have lights? Do I need to on generator when I get home? The pothole. They're not thinking of those type of things, and they have funds at their disposal. Now, if they don't fear God, really, really fear God, because it's at that level that you will now know whether somebody fears God or not. When you have $1 billion as disposable income, not working capital. I don't even understand. Not working capital. See, at that level, if you are still a man of faith, you are really a man of faith. If you are still a woman of faith, you are really a woman of faith at that level. Because some people go mad. That's why you see all these Arab billionaires. They don't show those things again. But in those days, you see somebody has golden toilets, golden this, because they don't know what to do with the money that they have. That's why you hear. I did a video many years ago. It's still on this channel, Dubai Potty something, where people go to Dubai to go and eat people, do different nasty things just for what the Bible called filthy lucre, money. So based on that, I agree totally with Pastor Korede Komaya. I don't agree with the part where it says that you are poor because of sin. No, I don't agree with that. I feel like that's a stretch. Okay, this is my own personal. I believe that that is a stretch. Okay, probably he could have worded it better. But you see, on this part of you don't know yourself until certain amount of money influence comes into your life. You don't know yourself. So it's good to have banter. This banter is good, okay? But the thing you should be praying to God is that God, at that level, when I get there, when I get there, help me. There was somebody who told me that she doesn't want her husband to be wealthy beyond a certain point, and I was like, why, like, why would you say that? And she was like, money comes with a lot of problems. And in fairness to people, you have to what's the word now, regenerate your mind. Okay, you have to renew your mind with the word of God to be balanced. You have to renew your mind with the word of God to be balanced with a certain level of wealth. There was one time when I was in uni, we went for sports at a particular university. Like if you count top 5 rich kids, I went to a private school, but we don't used to consider ourselves as rich kids. Like when you talk about rich kids, don't call any institutions name. These young people had so much money for the Nigerian context. And when we went for sports, and me, I can blend anywhere. So I became their friends. Okay, they were Northerners and Fulanis and all that. I just became their friends, and so they wanted me to come for this particular outing. I said no, that I don't really go for such things. So somebody that came from my school was like, I beg, I go take your position. They go. When she came back and she was giving me the gist. So just imagine, you now have a child in such environment, and you've not really, the word of God has not really taken roots. People will do all manner of madness. So if you get to a position where you are in the midst of that type of wealth, I'm not talking, some people have not even gotten this type of wealth that we're talking about. They've married 2 wives. Somebody will just have one transport company that is probably bringing in 50 million. Is not small money, but let's just say 50 million naira, not even in dollars. And the person we don't crazy will marry 3 wives, 4 wives. You know to see all our Delta brothers. See, look, our prayer should be that God circumcise my heart such that when this type of things come into my life, I will still be your child. That's the prayer we should be praying, no? Not whether to be arguing prosperity gospel. See, if you want to be poor, be poor. Choose your struggle. Just choose your struggle. If that's what you want, no problem. There's no need to argue. So let me play video that was countering what Pastor Korede was saying. This lady, I don't know if she's an evangelist. I don't know what office, but she's a popular Christian woman or lady. So when the whole controversy was going on, I saw this video. I just got to know about her. I think a few days before this thing happened, I just stumbled on her page on TikTok and I was watching it. And so when they talk about prosperity of a poor man, blah blah blah, and I saw her on Twitter, I was like, oh, okay. So let's listen to what she has to say.
If what he has is enough for him, if a person has clothes on their back, has food in their belly, and a roof over their heads, do they not have enough for their lives to be respected as honorable and dignified? Are they poor because they don't have millions in their bank account? If I need to move from point A to point B, am I poor because I got there by bus and not by private car? If I moved to point B from point A, is that not the thing that should matter, that I got to where I was going to? If I cannot afford to eat fried rice and turkey, and I can whip up my concussion rice and egg in my kitchen and eat my meal and fall asleep after with peace of mind, a thankful heart, and a full belly, who are you to call me poor because you are eating turkey and I'm eating egg? Why are we doing this to people that God need?
Okay, I think there's a misunderstanding of where Pastor Korede Komaya is coming from. If I understand what she's saying, that what is the definition of being poor? From my understanding, okay, let's clarify that he's not saying that he's not defining what poverty is, okay, because this thing is there's a word now, I can't remember the word now, it's subjective, right? The point is you've not gotten a certain level of wealth before in your life and you come into that, and like I said, it is subjective in the sense that somebody could be eating gari, and at that level of gari, or somebody could, let's use financial figures now, somebody could be earning 10,000 naira, right? And at that level of the earning of 10,000 naira, he's a good Christian, he goes to church, he does all of that. Now he now gets 1 million naira as recurring income, right, from when he was getting that 10,000 naira. Is he going to be the same person that he was when he was earning the 10,000 naira? Or is he going to now have a new lifestyle that does not reflect the same type of person he was when he was earning 10,000 naira? It is also applicable to somebody who was earning, let's say, 5 million naira, okay, monthly, but he was going to church, he had a good relationship with God, was a good Christian man. Then suddenly he hits what's big money for that level. Let's say 50 million now becomes his recurring income from somebody who used to earn, how much did I say? Did I say 1 million or 5 million? I can't remember, my brain. From somebody who used to earn 5 million, like after he does everything, still, but now he now has 45 million naira as disposable income. Is it going to be the same person? I believe that's the context of what Pastor Korede Komaya was talking about. So the poverty he's talking about is subjective, okay? It's not that he's looking down on a poor person. And see, poverty is there was a time that somebody in Nigeria said the richest man in Nigeria, they can never be as poor as the richest man in Nigeria. So yeah, but let's listen to what she was saying. I agree with the fact saying people are poor because they are sinful. I agree. Like I said it that I don't agree with that statement. But no, I don't agree with Ebele when she says that he is trying to make people think that their relationship with God is based on your substance. That's not what he's saying. I don't think that's what he's saying. I think I've explained the context I think is coming from. Okay, which is it's a reality that it's all of us are going to be confronted by it. Okay, all of us are going to be confronted by this. There's this book by Ora Roberts. It's a compilation of the stories of wealthy men who supported his ministry. I don't know if that book is. Let me bring it. This video, I had to climb staircase to go bring this book to just show you. If you can get it, get it. I don't know if it's still in print. It's called God's. Excuse me. Okay, you guys. First of all, before I go on, please like this video. All right. Thank you. So it's called God's Formula for Success and Prosperity. 14 inspiring stories of people who tried to outgive God and failed. For the more they gave of their substances, the more God prospered them. So it's a compilation of I think these were the initial board members of Ora Roberts ministry. And this conversation we're having is not new. I've had this book for more than 20 years now, because I think I bought it when I was in 200 level or 100 level. I got it at Marosa Bookshop in Benin. I don't know if they still sell all these books. Anyway, the reason I brought out this book is because there are stories of men who shared their story of how when God blessed them, they went astray, okay, because the blessing was, just like I said, but they had to come back to the point of knowing that the blessing of God, right, does not add sorrow. Like, you can be blessed and still be a man or a woman under God. You can be wealthy from true integrity. Okay, you can create wealth through integrity and not fall into the trap of this thing that we're talking about. You can't trust the holiness of a poor person. Continue.
It's the very opposite of the thing that Jesus came to do. The very opposite of the thing that the gospel seeks to do. It puts a block of stumbling in people's paths. It ties a meal around their necks and plays a drum for them as they dance their way to hell. Because if you are telling people that poverty is proof of sin, what you are inadvertently saying is that wealth is proof of holiness. And people will believe that the wealthier they are, the holier they are. So let us do whatever we can to be wealthy, because if wealth is proof of my righteousness, then let me be wealthy whatever the cost. You've opened the door to hell wide open and handed out personal invitations, and God will judge you. Whatever it is you do to make God's little ones to stumble, God will judge you. Oh, it is so that Christians will not be mediocre. If you want to discourage mediocrity in the life of a Christian, encourage him to be diligent with his work. Encourage him to be faithful with his business. Don't tell him to aim to be wealthy. Don't tell him to aim to be rich if he truly loves Jesus. It is not necessary. Faithfulness and diligence comes with rewards that are sweet. The pursuit of wealth does not. If wealth is what you are chasing, you will pierce yourself with many sorrows. The Bible says this clearly.
Okay, Ebele, I don't agree. This is me now. I don't agree with what she's saying. Yes, I agree with the fact that we shouldn't say that you are poor. If you are poor, that's when you are in sin, and if you are wealthy, that's those are two extremes. Okay, those are two extremes. Can a child of God be wealthy? Absolutely. Read this book. I get this book. This book is not about Oral Roberts himself. It's about 14 men, beautiful. Use the word beautiful now. Men who love God, serve God. Some came from poverty. They talk about how the ministry of Oral Roberts took them from poverty to becoming major industrialists in America, and they were still serving God. They were still serving God. Like I said, this video is not about argument. I'm not here to argue with anybody. If you want to, um, if you want to stay at a certain level, it's your choice. I would encourage you to go and watch the tour of downtown Chicago. It's on my vlogging channel. I'm going to put it because sometimes if we've not seen certain things, seen the other side of life, we take some things and say, it is luxury, when for some people it is not. Okay. You understand? Yeah, there are other parts of the series that we need to run through. This video is already 30 minutes long, so I'm just going to upload it and get into the other parts of the series. Thank you so much, guys. Watch this video.
The things that we qualify as poverty in people's lives is simply an inability to afford luxuries, not necessarily an inability to have their basic necessities met. Forgive me, how can one be so heartless as to look people in the eye and tell them that the fact that they cannot buy turkey or travel with Uber is because they are sinful? How can you reduce the quality of a person's soul to how much they have? How can we not fear God like this? The saddest, most vicious thing about this video is that it successfully points people to things rather than God. It makes it so that people judge their nearness to God, judge the prosperity of their souls based on how well they are doing materially.